Good to be together on Thursday. I enjoy Thursdays, and I always look forward to our small, intimate Thursday evening worship services at 7 o'clock. So, hey, try it sometime. It's kind of nice, you know. I was thinking a little bit today about anxiety. My guess is that many of you, a lot of us, we have moments and times of anxiety. And maybe it's when we have so much going through our heads. We're thinking of things we need to do, or we're thinking about people that we care about. And I'm not sure how it is for you, but sometimes, even in the morning, sometimes I get anxious about what I'm going to say. And sometimes when you get so much going on in your heart and your soul, and you just kind of freeze. And I can sometimes just sit there and do nothing, because anxiety can sometimes paralyze us and prevent us from just doing what we want to do. There's a couple things I've thought about, and oftentimes when I sit at my kitchen counter early in the day with a cup of coffee and I get kind of anxious, I think maybe just focus on a couple things. Maybe each day just try to say something or do something that builds somebody else up. And maybe each day try to do something, even a small little thing, that you've been putting off. So at the end of the day, we've maybe done one thing for somebody else, and we've accomplished one small task. Like this morning, I got to the church, and our front sidewalk has been cluttered with tree branches and flowers, buds from the trees. It's just a mess. And I walked over it on Sunday every single day, and I said, wait a second. And I looked at the back of my contract, and in my contract is snow shoveling and sweeping the sidewalk. So I got a broom and I swept the front sidewalk. It didn't take very long, but I looked at it and it was clean and it was fresh. And it was just one thing that I had been putting off, and I did it, and it made me smile. One thing I've been anxious about, or I don't know why I'm thinking about it so much, is this whole racial thing. You know, I can't understand, and I have all kinds of shortcomings and prejudices. I guess I don't understand how we can possibly judge somebody or think less of somebody just by the color of their skin or the religion they are in, or maybe by the way they dress. And whenever I get anxious about something like that, I have a tendency to turn to Mattie Stepanek, because he's a young soul who only lived to be 13, but he had a kind of wisdom and simplicity in his heart. And he wrote a poem entitled "The Gift of Color." And these are some of the words from that poem. And I read them over and over again. He says, "Thank you, Lord, for all the colors of the rainbow. Beautiful colors, beautiful things, and beautiful people. What special gifts you have given to us." And I enjoy color. I enjoy the different colors that people have, the white, the brown, the black, the red. And it seems to me that color is a gift. It should never be something that gets in the way of us understanding and accepting and loving each other. You know, I flashed back to 1965, and hope you don't mind if I flash back a little bit. And we had a student council conference at a school in Chicago, and I believe it was Harlan High School. And it was a very diverse group, just people from all over. And Harlan High School had a significant African-American population. And afterwards, we were talking to some of the kids from other schools, and we thought that we should have an exchange where some of our kids would go to their school and spend the night with a couple of their families, and some of them would come to our families. And so I remember, as a student council person, me and another person went to the principal and said, we'd like to have an exchange with the students from Harlan High School. And the principal looked at me and the other person kind of like we had two heads, and he said, well, you know, that's an African-American high school. And I said, well, a lot of the students are, but that's why we want to do it. We want to get to know each other and break down some barriers. It took a lot of meetings. I didn't think it was a big deal, but we finally had it. And I remember going home and talking to my mom and dad. And I said, Mom and Dad, guess what? They said, what? We're going to have some guests at our house in a couple of weeks. 2 students from Harlan High School. And I said, they're African American. And my mom and dad looked at me, and my dad kind of gave me that crazy grin he gives me, and he said, are they Lutheran? I said, I don't know. And he said, I was just curious. And I said, is that going to be an issue? And he looked at me and said, Don, what have we learned? We're all God's children. I can't wait to meet your new friends. And I just, I thought of that humble, quiet gift of acceptance. The gift of color. The gift of each one of us being unique and different. The gift of unconditional love that God gives to us so that we in turn need to give each other. Every day, especially over the past 12 or 14 months, like you, I pray for peace. I pray for acceptance. And every day, thanks to little prophets like Mattie, I rejoice in the gift of color. It's something that you've taught me, God's taught me, and we teach each other. Let's rejoice in the diversity that brings us together. God bless you. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.